a successful stuffing must be flavorful. After all, if it doesn't taste good, there's no reason to have it there. It must be porous enough to absorb the juices expressed by the surrounding poultry without turning soggy or becoming impacted. The stuffing must manage to reach a state of doneness at the same time as the bird. This is tantamount and a challenge. Lastly, the ideal stuffing would be easy to insert and extract. Now, based on what we know about poultry, what we know about heat transfer, quantum physics, nuclear science, and whatnot, we should be able to come up with a good working formula for stufferage. Aromatic vegetables usually travel in threes, okay? The combination of onion, celery, and carrot that the French call mirepoix is probably the most famous. But when it comes to poultry, I prefer the Cajun cousin called Trinity, wherein the carrot is replaced by green pepper. Now in this case, we're gonna need 1 cup of each, chopped very, very fine. Now when you get that finished, we'll toss with 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil and 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. Ow! Yeah, come on. Roast them in a 400-degree oven for 35 minutes. Just like the bread, rice, potatoes, pasta, or other porous starchy goods that make up most of a stuffing's volume. Now in this case, we are going to go with 3 cups of challah or challah bread cut into half-inch cubes. Why challah? Well, since it's an egg-based bread, it's a lot less likely than other breads to turn into goo when exposed to liquid. Since a bit of browning would definitely up the flavor quotient on this bread, and drying the cubes would make them thirsty for what the bird has to offer, we'll park them in here with the veggies for the last 10 minutes of cooking. Now, although there are plenty of recipes out there that call for both herbs and spices, I like to keep my stuffing simple. And since it cooks for so long, I actually prefer dried herbs. So I'm going to go with 2 teaspoons of dried rubbed sage and 2 teaspoons of dried parsley. Of course, home-dried parsley would be better, but that's another show. Although I've seen everything from milk powder to mayonnaise used, nothing binds like coagulating protein suspended in a liquid base, and that spells 2 of them will do the trick. I love the smell of cooked celery in the morning. It smells like Thanksgiving. Seeing as how this is a wet mass, the microwave would seem to be the perfect place to heat it. And yet, this is also an amorphous mass, which leads you to wonder, would you want to spoon 200-degree stuffing through that hole? I mean, even if you could get a spoon in there, you'd expose the stuffing to the air, that would cool it down, and that would just defeat the whole purpose for heating this in the first place. No, we need some kind of containment unit. We need a... Hey, wait a minute. Now what we need is a sack of some type. There, no. Oh, here we go. I got these cotton bags to wean myself off of plastic produce bags. They're washable, porous, and all natural. You can get them from health food stores or from the internet. Oh, sorry, just type reusable cotton bag into the search engine of your choice. Let's load, shall we? Obviously, getting all of this into that little bag could be difficult, so we will employ our flexible cutting mat. Just roll it into a tube and deliver thusly. Here, nice and tidy. Now you'll notice that the bag is only about half full, and that's good because the stuffing is going to expand in the bird. Put the bag in a bowl and the bowl in your microwave and cook on high for 6 minutes. In the meantime, make sure your oven is set to 400 degrees so that it's ready to receive the entire poultry stuffing package. Because when this comes out, we're not going to want to waste any time. The implant is ready. The patient has been prepped. Let us begin. First, the spreader. Then we carefully remove the hot stuffing to the spreader and mold it into a tube-like shape. And we insert the spreader into the recipient and then carefully plunge with tongs. And we extract the spreading device, and the stuffing is in place. Now, under ordinary home circumstances, I would monitor the thermal progress of this situation with occasional visits of an InstaRead thermometer. But in this case, I'm actually going to implant 2 probe thermometers so that we might watch from the outside. So here we go. Thermometer probe 1 goes into the stuffing thusly. Thermometer probe number 2 we will insert into the thigh meat. There we go. Thank you, that's enough. There, all done. Now to the oven. In an attempt to do thermal justice to bird and stuffing alike, we are going to roast at 400 degrees for 45 minutes, then drop the temperature to 350 degrees and continue cooking until both the stuffing and the thigh meat reaches an internal temperature of 170 degrees. That's what we're looking to do. We want the 2 things to hit that temperature as close to the same time as possible. Now, for those of you who would say, hey, he's not doing the turkey the way he usually does the turkey, well, all I can say is stuffing changes everything. Now all we can do is wait. Well, it certainly looks promising. Let's check our temps. By Jove, I do think we're onto something here. Almost hit the same temperatures at the same time. That's good. Definitely time to get this guy out, and we'll let carryover do what carryover does. Remember, there could be some steam built up behind the bag or inside the bag, so keep your hands out of the way, okay? Wow, our first success. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, it's not beautiful, but it will taste good. Let's get that into a service piece, okay? In the meantime, we will let our turkey have a well-deserved rest under a nice layer of aluminum foil.